Welcome back to today's build. I'll be your guide to this wonderful game we all love. Let's get started.
Today's deck has been years in the making. His name is Omnath, Locus of all, and this is a magic Jellybean. Omnath is a 4/4 for almost 5 mana that helps us churn through the deck and ramps us, but only if the top card of our deck has 3 colored pips in it. Like Braids and Catilda plus Lier, who we call Type B commanders, Omnath spells out how to get value, but not how to win with it, so our win will likely come in the form of a combo or alternate win con that Omnath finds for us. And like Atraxa, Omnath is a commander that generates value over time, so we'll want to play our commander as early as possible. Because Omnath generates 3 mana on spells with at least 3 colors, that ability gives us a free spell if it costs exactly 3 mana, so that's where this ability gets the most value. The first category of cuts we're making are the elementals. It's cute, and Omnath Tribal is a funny idea, but not a lot of these actually synergize very well with what our commander is doing. Omnath, Omnath, and Omnath have got to go. Next, we'll be cutting a lot of these mana doublers. These are good in general, and definitely help us make a lot more mana, but value isn't victory. If Omnath gets taken off the board at any time, all this mana we're saving up gets flushed away. If we go this route, we have to dedicate a lot of card slots to protecting Omnath instead of digging for the win. Unlike green Omnath, this Omnath doesn't get bigger for each mana in our pool, so the mana here is best treated as gravy, incidental value on top of everything else that we're doing. Next, we're cutting a lot of X spells. There are a few that are worth running, but not this many, and big spells for the sake of big spells would make this a 5-color good stuff pile, which you can certainly build, but we're narrowing our focus here to something a little more refined. We're also cutting a lot of the charms. Again, some of these are very good in this deck, but we shouldn't be playing 3-pip spells just to play 3-pip spells. These spells should be ones that actually do something important for us. So, what's our timeline? Turn 1, it's Mana Dork Central, with Avacyn's Pilgrim, Gilded Goose, some Hierarchs, and more. If we can ramp and fix by turn 2, we can play out Omnath turn 3 and get our engine going. So turn 2, it's more of the same, this time featuring Felwar Stone, Fertile Ground, and my favorite mana rock, Pentad Prism. Turn 3 will play Omnath, paying 2 life for the Black Pip, and our deck will be online. Turn 4 and beyond, Omnath will draw a card each turn, and oftentimes provide free mana. But like we noted with Jodah, the best cards we can include are the ones that hit on everything our commander wants to do at once, and the very best ones will be exactly 3 mana. With Lagrella the Magpie, Crackling Doom, and Cloud Swill, we can slow down our opponents by taking out their critical pieces and advancing our own board with the leftover mana from Omnath. With Hanamar Soul of the Elements, Kethis the Hidden Hand, and Sultai Ascendancy, we can set up for future turns by reducing costs for those 3-pip spells, which, more often than not, are legends, coincidentally, and digging through the deck for our own win. Even though we cut a lot of the charms, we're still keeping Broker's Charm, Obscura Charm, and Teamer Charm to protect Omnath and act as more removal along the way. While not technically a charm, Endless Detour offers enough modality here to be crazy not to include. We can put something we want to cast from our opponent's deck with a later Villainous Wealth, or fix the top of our own deck for Omnath's ability with a recast of a creature or a card in our graveyard. Next, we'll fix the top of our deck with some of the best cards in the deck, Otherworldly Gaze, Congregate at Dawn, and my personal favorite, Diabolic Vision. We'll talk about targets defined with Congregate at Dawn in a moment, but right now we'll also play Court of Calling, World the Tutor, and Wargate, another brilliant card with the deck that can grab exactly what we need onto the field. We'll also traumatize our opponents with Drana and Linvala, Elemental Augury, and Lavalanche to make sure they never get off the ground. Working really well with the Augury is also Villainous Wealth. When we don't have the wealth in hand, we can use the Augury to make sure our opponents never draw anything good. And when we do have the wealth in hand, we can use it to make sure we only hit their best bombs. Another amazing card in this deck is Rocco Cap-Ready Caterer to help slam our endgame pieces onto the field. With as many weirdly synergistic tutors as we've already played, it's remarkably easy to play out Zakama Primal Calamity with a Teamer Sabertooth to back it up and go infinite. Between that and Rocco, we can play out our whole deck and overwhelm our opponents in a locus of all our cards. The deck is really good at handling its resources. It's also really great at interacting with our opponents, and that kind of combination is difficult to overcome. Even when they remove Omnath, since Omnath is just giving the deck a boost, they haven't done a lot to stop it. Decks like these generate value over time, and are almost never in the 9 to 10 range because of that, and the unfocused nature of most builds tend to pull the deck's power down by a lot, but the resources Omnath generates are often enough to compensate for that, and pull it back up to 7. If you like this video, the next decks I'll be looking at can be found here in no particular order, so if you see something you like, make sure to subscribe so you don't miss them, and check out the playlist in the top left for more. Thanks for watching!